So I had the stupid idea of like, how many wishes would it actually take to get a C6 of every 5-star in Genshin? You can see I have a lot of Primo Gems saved up. You might be like, there's a problem. How could I possibly get every C6 5-star? It's gotcha. It's FOMO. Well, lucky me, we're not wishing in game today. We're wishing with fake currency. WishingSimulator.app. This is a wonderful website. I'm gonna go give a donation, I think, to the creator of this website, because the good job on making something that's like a cool simulation. From what I could tell, they did everything accurately as far as like the rates of everything. Like capturing radiance even works for the 5.0 onwards banners, but it doesn't exist for pre 5.0. And like even like the original weapon banner that didn't have fate points exists. If we go all the way to version 1.0, for example, right? You can see no fate point system. So I don't know. I'm sure there's some mistake in here maybe, but from what I could tell when I was testing things before recording, this seems to accurately reflect exactly how the banners worked. No, I shouldn't say exactly, but very close. So, and the history here also gives us like a helpful total of how many Primo Gems total we spent and an estimated of like the US dollar cost. So, like we should have a fun data check. Now, there's a couple complications. One is that we have to spend no, we don't have to spend real money. We can actually just, where is it? The shop, of course. How could I forget the shop? Bam, you can just, we could just, you know, do this. How many Primo Gems is necessary for every C6 in the game? I have no idea. Actually, I have no idea. But we can do this until our heart's content. And consume all of them, turn them into... That's a sight. Yep, that's a lot of wishes. How many wishes is that? I have no idea. I'm not used to it. 8,381. Is that enough for every C6 in the game? I don't think so. Because I think the average for a C6 5-star is around 500, 600. I think it's like 600 to 700 wishes before 5.0. I think it's 550, 600 after 6.0. Might be even better than that. Or sorry, after 6.0, after 5.0 because of the capturing radiance system. Point being, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna go banner by banner, as if like you started playing in version 1.0, right? Got C6 Venti. We're not gonna purposely wish in standard banner for the standard 5 stars, because we'll get those as we do whatever, right? And I'm gonna ignore the weapon banner, I think, for now. Mostly because I'm insane, and one thing I want to do for this video, and I'm going to subject you to this by maybe even having this be fully unedited. Oh yeah, this little cat, by the way, it's a bongo cat. Every 30 minutes it's going to give me a little chest. 10 wishes at a time, right? The reason I want to do 10 wishes at a time is because I'm insane. You can change the number per, like I can do 8,000 wishes on Venti banner in a multi-roll, right? Wish times 8,000. We're not going to do that. That'd be stupid. And if that takes too long, then I'm going to convert over to maybe, I don't know, doing like 150 pulls at a time to save my sanity. So I don't know. We'll change things up as we go. Let's start. But I'm taking too long to start my introductory yap. Let's do the first pulls here. Look at all the new things. Wow, what a world. Anyways, we have Sid Lolly's music. It's already lagging. Uh-oh, that's a bad sign. Oh no, I just didn't click the thing. It's fine. So yeah, look at all them new characters, crazy. And we'll see in our inventory, by the way, what like our total end of like 4-star constellations is too. This website does show like if you get past C6, it'll show the total number required, which is cool. So anyways, yeah, we're just gonna skip all this. We're gonna wait. We gotta see this 5-star animation. So I'm gonna subject you. Maybe I will edit this video, but at minimum, I'm going to subject you to the pain of watching the 5-star animations, right? If I'm going through the pain of acquiring every 5-star C6 in the game, in this silly simulator, you're gonna have to go through the pain of watching all of these animations with me, okay? Although, I'm already getting sick of... We haven't even got one 5-star, I'm kind of already sick of seeing the 4-star animation by doing 10 pulls. Anyways, do we win the first 50-50 of 7,000? That's a JPEG and a half. We don't. Oh, goody. You might say, oh, that's a bad sign, but like, we don't need to say words like that, because quite frankly, in this video, we're doing so many wishes that 50-50s don't matter. Everything's going to be law of large numbers out. Like we're just going to, the average expected cost for like a 5-star is like 100-ish wishes or something, with factoring in winning 50-50s. It's about 1 in 100 kind of thing. Factoring the pity system, chance for earlies, 50-50s, yada yada. I think it's about a 1 in 100. Might actually be, I think it's better than that with, you know, the capturing radiance nowadays. But anyways, you know what, we'll stick to what I said. We're gonna skip really quickly when we don't have a guarantee, at least. And it looks like we not getting a Sucrose, best character in the game. I mean, arguably better than a Venti. Oh look, wow, it's a Venti. Yeah, stuff like whether or not we get a double 5-star pull is interesting. Double 5-star 10 pulls, because those are very rare, right? Hi, Venti. It's something like you could expect. What is the number? I don't remember what the number is. I did it a long time ago. Like, as far as double early 5 stars in particular, you can purposely try to manufacture getting 2 5 stars in one 10 pull. By the way, was that early? Let's go check our history quick. Yes, it was. That one was definitely early a little bit. Whoop-de-doo. But the point being, like, you can purposely try to get 2 5 stars in one 10 pull by manipulating exactly when you do a 10 pull in soft pity. It can increase the chance of it. But 2 early 5 stars in one 10 pull is like a 1 in many thousands of wishes. Like, we should definitely technically have a few 10 pulls that get, you know, multiple 5 stars in one 10 pull in this entire sequence of trying to go for C6 every character. I accidentally skipped the thing doubly. Okay. It's just, I don't know. So anyways, point being, it's going to take a lot of wishes to do this. Hey, there's a 5-star. Can we win a 50-50 on Venti? Yes, we can. What a world. Can we get 2 Ventis? If I get 1 double 5-star, that's my signal to start doing... No, okay. It's my signal to start doing, like, 100 pulls at a time. What's the balance here? 50 pulls at a time, maybe? I think we could do 50 pulls at a time. That might be reasonable. Because then we can easily keep track... Well, no. I think we have to do 100 pulls at a time to not have this video be literally 8 hours long. It might be 8 hours long. I don't know. Anyways. Hey, Widzit. I don't know. So, let's just... You know what? We're gonna get our next Venti, and then I'm gonna accelerate this. Oh, hi Deluke. Well, that's our next Venti. We're gonna get our next Venti, and then we are going to change this to every 100 pulls, which means we get a 5-star every pull, because this is already taking so long that I feel like having to make this video. It would be a great April Fool's video, maybe in hindsight, but that's a month ago. It's like 9 months away, or 9 months away, 11 months away, or 1 month ago. So, I don't know why I spent so long staring at that. So, yeah, the point is, I've already gotten sick of this animation. We have a few more characters to go. So, this has to be done faster than this. Like, I don't know if I can survive if we do this slowly. So, quickly regretting my life choices of saying I would do, you know, watch all the animations. I'm not going to force you to do that. All right, there's a Venti in here. We don't need to watch this. All right, how exciting. So, we've done 340 wishes, $897 US, 54,000 Primo Gems, and we have C2 Venti. That's a terrible start, all things considered. Like a really terrible start. But we're going to go into settings here, and we're going to change this to 100 per multi-roll. So if these polls want to recover, we need to get, like, if we're gonna expect the average, like, in 3 100 polls, in 3 100 polls, we would want to get 4 Ventis, right? Is what we want. If this is gonna recover to, like, be the average-ish, from what my understanding of the average is. We're not gonna click through 100 polls. That would be silly. Well, wait. You know what? I'm gonna click through 1 because I think it's funny. There's not even any sound when I click this fast. You can't even click this fast in game. It's wishing simulator privileges. I just want to see. Like, is there a Venti in this 100 polls? This is very weird. Oh, that was a Mona. I saw like 1 frame of Mona. Oh gosh. Okay, that's kind of funny. Oh boy. That's a weird screen. Yup. Well, 100 polls and no Venti. I feel like we're starting out with very poor. Yep, 1 Venti. Okay. We are at C3 Venti with like 600 pulls. Oh, 2 Ventis and 100 pulls. Let's go. Alright, we only need 1 more Venti, technically. That is pretty good. Because we're at... Well, actually, it's not pretty good. I mean, it's gonna take, like... you know what technically would make sense? What are we at pity-wise right now? 22. So, I'm gonna adjust this to 50 right now. Because we do 50. I want to, like, start every new 5-star. If we're... I want to get a C6 5-star, right? And then start near 0-ish pity, right? So, we're doing single pulls, is my point. It doesn't have to be 0 pity because I'm not going to be able to control this completely with the earlies and whatnot, but you get the point, right? I want to have each instance of wishing for new characters be like as a neutral starting point as possible, and we're going to get C6 Venti. We're going to be average-ish. Look at that. We actually did get kind of average. I'm pretty sure that's not that crazy. Yeah, 600. Well, I think it's a little bit below average. It's not great, but that's 700 wishes for a C6 Venti. All right, let's try to get through the other things quicker now. Do 100 pulls per, and yeah, we're definitely not doing weapons in this video. Well, I don't know. Let me know if you want another version of this video in the future with what am I doing? The button is right here. Let me know if you want another version of this video that is, here we go, Klee. Let's go. You know, wishing on the weapon banner, getting R5 of every single weapon in the game, 5-star weapon. Skip. All right, starting with 0 Klees. Wonderful. All right, 200 pulls. Yeah, I think doing 100 is at a time is a sensible balance. All right, 200 pulls, we got 1 Klee. 300 pulls. I'm gonna predict 3 Klees. That's 2. Okay. Well, 400 pulls. 3 Klees. I skipped it. Oops. I didn't mean to skip the inventory. We have C2. That's not very good. I think this is 400 pulls. Wait, no, this is 500 pulls for Klee, isn't it? Yeah, no, this is 400, right? I hope it's 400. This is definitely 500 or 600. Oh God. Okay. C3, and we are at 1290. Yeah, that's 500. Okay, because right? No, we ended with 694. Yeah, that's 500. Okay. No, it's 600. Oh God. Wait, did we really just spend 600 wishes on Klee and get C3 Klee? What? I gotta... look, it's hard. When you're doing this many wishes, it's hard to keep track of things, okay? I'm pretty sure... Well, hey, 700 wishes and C5. That recovered a little bit. That's something. We're not on a guarantee, so I'll do 100 pulls. Kind of brutal, I'll be honest. Hey, we got our last Klee. There must have been an early in there. Where was it at? It was at... Let's see... Jean, and then oh look, a 15 pity Klee. Wow, what a world. That's the C6 Klee. That's kind of terrible rate wise. What is our history total? We've done 50. This is an average of 750 wishes per 5-star character so far. That's not great. That's really not great. Oh boy, who's next? Is Mr. Child? How exciting. I might be doing these in the wrong order technically, by the way, but oh well. Let's go, Mr. Child. Surely you'll be better, right? 1 child. Okay. That's 100 pulls. I'm going to count in my hand, my fingies, how many pulls we've done. 200, so I keep track properly this time. All right. C1 with 200 pulls. All right. And that's 1 more. Okay, so C2 with 300. 400. 1 more. Okay, we're just getting 1 per. That's decent. All right, 500. That's another. Okay. What are we at? That's 500. And we are at C4. That's better than Klee. And 8,000 wishes is definitely not going to do it, by the way. Oh, 2 childs. Let's go. So that is... By the way, there's interesting statistics here with, like, the number of 4-star characters we get too, but, like, like I said, law of large numbers is going to take effect for all this stuff. We're going to see what the end... Oh, wait, we got C6. Oh, okay. That was 600, I believe, for C6. Okay, so that was, like, a what expected rate, like, not shite rate for C6 Tartaglias. Nice. I almost didn't keep track properly. Oh, boy. It's fine. I'm sure we're going to accidentally wind up with, you know, C7 of some character. Like, limited characters, that is. But is what it is. Mr. Jungle Dongles. Okie dokie. Alright, starting with the Jungle Dongles with 100 pulls. Alright, 200 pulls. And we get 2 Jungle Dongles with a 50-50 loss. 300 pulls. Alright, that's C2, I believe. Alright, 400 pulls. That is 400 pulls for C3, right? Yep, okay. I'm keeping track properly. 500 pulls. That's 2. Okay, 500 pulls for C5. It's not terrible. As this is like expected. Okay. And we're at 7 pity. Perfect. Wait, did we lose the 50-50? We did not. Okay. So we had to win a 50-50. I skipped it again. Look, it's really easy to double click by accident. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did we win it? We did not. RIP. Okay. Well, what's our pity at? 29? Okay, we can go to 50 pity then. I believe that means this was 650 wishes for C6 Zhongli about. What did that one show up at? Yep, it showed up at pity. Okay, that's fine. Next banner. 100 wishes. Who is next? Bam. Once we get to version 2.3 is when I started playing Genshin, and I'll be like familiar with all the character order. It'll be a trip through memory lane. All right, Mr. Albedo. Okay. 100 pulls, 1 Albedo. Nice. I feel like at some point here, we're going to have to see 100 pulls that gets like 4 or 5 stars at once, right? At least. Not this one, though. Yeah, no, I knew it. Okay, 200 pulls, 1 Albedo. 300 pulls. 2 Albedos. This is terrible so far. 400 pulls. 1 more Albedo. Okay, 3 Albedos and 400 pulls, right? Yep, that's terrible. Okay, did the early banners have terrible rates? What in the world is happening? I feel like this is just garbage. Okay, another terrible... This is 500 pulls for C3 Albedo. Ew. Okay, 600 pulls. Really? Okay, 700 pulls. Really? What's with all the bonus? This is 700 pulls and we have C5 Mona. Okay, we only have 1 Gigi so far somehow. That's crazy. Okay, well, of course. Of course you... Okay, I should have checked the tracking for that one. You could say this was probably my fault with doing the 100 pulls. Oh well. My bad. In the scheme of things, hopefully this will all average out and it won't be that big of a waste. I bet you it was an early though. So I might have not been... Yeah, it wasn't early. I told you. It was an early. I wouldn't even have been able to avoid it, right? Because there was a double early. See, if it hadn't trolled me... Well, I'm just making excuses. It's fine. Okay. Well, that was kind of garbage. Like, regardless of my mistake, that was garbage average rate for total number of Albedos for the wishes spent. Ganyu is next. All right. So, Ganyu... Let's see. 100 pulls. 2 Ganyus at 100 pulls. That is exactly what we need. All right. 200 pulls. Skip. That's 1 more Ganyu. Okay. I mean, 200 pulls in a C2 Ganyu is pretty good. 300 pulls. 1 more Ganyu. Okay. C3. 400 pulls. 400 pulls for C4. We're at an average of 1 every 100 so far, which is pretty good. That's like kind of expected rate. All right. And 500 pulls for C5. All right. I mean, very boring, honestly. Other than that first pull. And we get 1 more Ganyu. Yeah, told you. Guaranteed. Ganyu, 600 pulls. Easy, just like that. Probably a little bit less, technically, because we have some pity remaining. Crazy. Alright, and by the way, we have gotten how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters, C6, not counting the standard characters. And we have used half of our 8,000 wishes that I started with. Oh boy. Oh boy. I am very curious what the dollar amount is going to be by the end of all this. It's going to be a lot. 3 banners in this one. What? What in the world was this version? Oh, we're not counting Kaching's banner. That's a standard banner character. Okay. Xiao. Let's go. Alright, 100 pulls. 2 Xiaos. Let's go. We like Xiao. Alright. 200 pulls. 3, okay, C2 and 200 pulls. This is similar to Ganyu. 300 pulls. Oh my god. Alright, C4? Xiao's best constellation. C4 and 300 pulls. 5 copies? Man. 400. Oh, I was so hoping he was going to be done. I was so hoping he was going to be done. But C5 and 400 pulls is pretty dang good. Xiao's going to be our best one yet, I think, if we win this one. And we do. Wow. And our pity is 58. So I think the total amount of pulls there on Xiao was like 450 technically. Wow. Okay, so 450 is the amount to beat, I think, for a C6 if I kept track of everything properly. I don't know. Who do you think is going to be the highest? I bet we're going to have someone in this that takes like 300 pulls for a C6. Like there's that range. It's a high enough chance. Here, click the right button. You do this. There's a high enough chance. Ooh, who tell? Fan favorite. There's a high enough chance. 100 pulls to get like a statistical anomaly happening where you get really lucky and get a C6 and 300 pulls. Like 100 pull C6 is not going to happen, but like a 300 pull C6 probably could happen in this video. And it's 1 Hu Tao with 100 pulls, and we have a guarantee for the next one, I think. Well, actually, no, I'm not sure what the order was there. All right, 200 pulls, 2 Hu Taos, 300 pulls, 0 Hu Taos, but a Chi-Chi. We need that. 400 pulls. Hu Tao does not like us, by the way. Oh, that's a lot of 5 stars. 400 pulls, and we suddenly jumped up to C3. All right. 500 pulls. 0. Okay. Well, 600 pulls. 2 Hu Taos. Okay. So 600, and we recovered a little bit to C5. But, let's see here. That was a 50-50 win. Okay, so we may as well just do 100. So, definitely not great. For sure, but there we go. We got C6 Hu Tao. We're dunzos. Hu Tao, not great rate, but it's fine. I think that was 650, 700-ish. Let's go. I wonder how if people would be mad. Venti got a rerun banner 1.4, and wait, 1.4 was just a rerun patch? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Anyways, a Zhongli Eula 1.5. All right. Let's go. We like Eula. C6 Eula is a beast of her own, and she doesn't care. I tried to compliment her. Never mind. I hate Eula. Terrible character. My bad. How many do we get? I knew it. So apparently, if you insult Eula, she shows up more in your polls. There's my advice for you if you're wishing for Eula in the future, because you like making mistakes. No, I'm sorry. No, actually, I'm not sorry. Eula is a mistake. Let's be real. 300 pulls and 4 Eulas. No, 1 Eula. Okay. I mean, 2 5 stars at least. Anyways, 400 pulls, if I kept track, I think. And 0 Eulas. Uh-oh. I forgot to insult her. Eula, you're ugly. We hate you. 500 pulls, 4 Eulas. No, okay. Never mind. Maybe this doesn't work. We're at C3 with 500 pulls. That's ass. That's really bad. I believe this is 600. Excuse me? Did I lose track? 700? 700 with... Did I lose track? Or is Eula, like, by far the worst so far? I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like editing this video. I think we're at 800 wishes with C5 Eula. Which is terrible. Do we at least win a 50-50 for C6? We do. Although, well, actually, no, we don't. We got... that was probably not a 50-50 win based on that ka-ching there. Let's check. Nope, that was a guaranteed. Yep. I think that was 900 wishes if I kept track properly for Eula. That's terrible. Okay, I'm sorry for insulting you, Eula. I thought it worked in the beginning, and then the game decided to say, no, insulting is bad. I won't do it again, I apologize. Okay, Klee and Mr. Kazumaha. Alright, let's go. 100 pulls. 0 Kazuas. A lot of Bennett's, though. 200 pulls. 1 Kazuha. Oh, boy. Wait, did that say our first Rosaria? Or was Rosaria new this patch? I don't know. Anyways, 300 pulls. I thought she was earlier than 1.6, but I could be wrong. Anyways, we are going to get C2 Kazuha. Let's go with 300 pulls. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. Nothing incredible. Alright, C3 Kazuha with 400. And 500 and for C4. So, pretty boring rate so far. 600 pulls. No Kazuas. Oh boy. 700 pulls. 1 Kazuha. Oh boy. Do we have a guarantee? We do have a guarantee. Oh, sick. Okay. We'll just get the guaranteed Kazuha then. So that wasn't terrible then. We'll do 60 pulls. Damn. Get the guaranteed Kazuha. I lied. Oh, I went right perfectly into pity. That's why. My bad. Hey, look. There we go. C6 Kazumaha. We have exactly 1,400 wishes. Alright, let's just make sure. Yep, okay. We've only gotten 1 accidental C7 so far. That's good, I guess. And it's Albedo. He deserves it. Okay. What's our star glitter at, by the way? 4,617? Nice. Okay. Next banner. Put this back to 100. And Alright, after Kazuha is 2.0. Oh boy. I didn't realize it went from 1.6 to 2.0. Yeah. Okay. Ayaka. Let's go. Alright. 100 for C2 Ayaka. No, I lied. Okay. 200. We did get a gene there. It's possible that was after a 50-50 win. The same thing here. 2 5-stars per 100 pulls. It's like not bad, but these are... Seems like there's some 50-50 losses in here. 300. 2 Ayakas. Okay. We're looking pretty good. 400. That's not good. Alright. 500. That's good. Can I click on the... No, I can't click on these, unfortunately. Okay. We have C5 with 500 pulls. Not bad. And we have 34 pity. Checking if we lost a 50-50 or not. Oops, I went too far back. My bad. No, we won a 50-50. Okay. No, that was a guaranteed. But that means we can spend 50 wishes here. And blap. And surely we win the 50-50 for Ayaka. I lied. Okay. Well, look. I tried. Ayaka was almost at a good rate, but that last one was the difference maker, and she said no. Is what it is. There we go. No pity. Next character. It gets Uemia. Blap. I should have gone in reverse order. I feel like it would have been easier. But I feel like it made more sense to not do reverse order, but oh well. Anyways, it's just making me take a lot of clicks. But you're wonderful. You're watching this video and enjoying every bit of my yap. So, oh, I forgot to change the thing. My bad. Hopefully you enjoy this raw, unedited vibe, because who cares about putting effort into videos? That's not what you came here for. You came here for Gamba and 0 Uemias. Alright, so 100 pulls and 0 Uemias. 200 pulls and 1 Uemia. Oof. 300 pulls and 2 Uemias. Okay, there was a possibility of 300 pulls and 0 Uemias, so that's something. 400 pulls and... Ooh. Okay, we're at C2, right? Oh boy. 400 and only C2 is pretty oof. Not the worst you could do, to be clear. Like, the worst is like 450 or 480-ish. Anyway, 500 pulls in C3. Okay. 600 pulls and C4. 700 pulls and it recovers? This is why we need capturing radiance. But that doesn't exist for a few years. Oh boy. Okay, 700 pulls. We're at C5. We're at 24 pity. And not on a guarantee. Okay. Well, switch it to 75. Because that's what we have left. We're out of wishes at this point. And bam. Well, alright, Yoimiya. Alright, Yoimiya. Well, time to redeem our... I wonder if it factors in... Okay, so I'm gonna use the because I'm not sure if this thing tracks like, so if we can check this actually. So we go to history. It says, oh my god, it says we have like a total amount of primo gems spent. We'll see if this goes up from 1,344,000 after I use the star glitter pulls, which is right here. 1,100 star glitter pulls. All right, sure, that makes sense. And this should be our C6 Yoimiya guaranteed. I thought I was going to troll us with a C7. Alright. Was that at pity? Yeah, that was pretty much at pity too, I think. Okay. So did that count as... Yeah, that did count as spending extra money. So it's going to track... It's going to treat everything, including the star glitter pulls, as money spent. So that means this money spent estimate is going to be a little bit inflated, but oh well, whoop-de-doo. Alright, we got C6 Yoimiya. That was a bit painful, to say the least. No, don't do 1,000 at once. And this is an experience so far. I already feel dead inside. Oh, Raiden Shogun. Oh boy. Let's go. Actually, wait. Sorry. We gotta get some more resources quick. Because I have a feeling 1,000 wishes ain't gonna last very long. So we're gonna buy some Welcome Moons. Man, can you imagine if Welcome Moons were actually this good? There'd actually be a reason to consider doing C6 characters if Welcome Moons gave this many Primo Gems. But they don't. So, you know. Oh well. Our 8,000 wishes was only enough to get us like to 2.0. That's crazy. Because they didn't release that many characters in the 1.x patches, right? Like, I'm reflecting on this after a little bit. I'm just like, that's an insane amount of wishes we spent for so few characters. I feel like. I don't know. Anyways, that's enough for now. We'll probably have to return here shortly. Alrighty. Oh wait, if I don't convert them, it's gonna have to do a pop-up every time, so I have to do this. Alright. Bam. Okie dokie. Raiden. 100 pulls. 1 Raiden. I lied. Okay, so the 100 pulls. 200 pulls. C2 Raiden? Oh no, I lied. Okay. C1 Raiden and C2 Raiden in 300 pulls. It seems like. Yep. All right. C2 Raiden in 300. 400 pulls. That's the healthiest hopping point, by the way. You should have stopped at C2 Raiden. But apparently, if you spend an extra 100 pulls, you get 2 more copies. That's bad mentality. That's very bad mentality. Very, very bad. That one is at 74 pity. Okay, that just happened to be because of the pity. Sorry. 500 wishes for 1 more Raiden, and that's good. Okay, we are at 41 pity with C5, right? That's what I thought. Okay, we're gonna do 50 pulls. Give a chance to win this 50-50. And yeah, good. Oh, that's a surprise. 2 5-stars and 50 pulls there. That was an 11 pity Raiden after 50-50 loss. Nice. Okay. Cool. Well, Raiden was fairly above rate, I think. Oh, I have a Welcome Moon in my game right now because it's 4 a.m. right now. Oh, I forgot my bongo cat. I got some grass. Anyways, sorry. Distracted. Back to the Gamba. I apologize. Set this to 100 and go to next banner. Kokomi. We like you, Kokomi. Do we? I don't know. How popular is Kokomi nowadays? I have no idea. Anyways, 100 for 3 5-stars and 100 pulls and 2 Kokomis. Okay. Well, 3 5-stars and 100 pulls is now the rate to beat. That was, let's see what that was. A 37 pity 50-50 win, a 16 pity guarantee, and a 9 pity 50-50 loss. Wow. All right then. 3 5-stars and 100 pulls is what to beat. Starting with a C1 Kokomi with 100 pulls. 2 more Kokomis and another 100 pulls. Okay. We have C3 Kokomi and 200 pulls. Okay, C4 Kokomi, right? Yeah, C4 Kokomi and 300 pulls. Okay. For a second there, I thought Kokomi was going to be at a C6 and 300 pulls. 400. Oh, she was so close to C6 in 5. Oh, wait, no, she was C6. What? Did I miss a Kokomi? No, that okay. Well, Kokomi is definitely the best one so far, by far. Yeah, it was almost exactly 400 pulls. It seems like incredible. Wow. Okay, Kokomi best one so far. There you go. Crazy. Okay. And hey, look, it's the last time Jade Color was on banner. No, actually, I think that was Nilu's banner. Oh boy. Anyways, next. 400 pulls for C6 Kokomi. Insane. It's very possible that might be the luckiest one we get, but I suspect Capturing Radiance will give us some luckier ones after version 5.0. But there's not that many banners after version 5.0 for that to happen on, so maybe it won't. Anyways, Tartag, Hu Tao rerun that patch, Albedo, Eula rerun, Ito. All right, Ito. This was the last. This was the I started in version 2.4, so this is the last one. Now then we get to relive memory lane for me. All right, 100 pulls for Ito, 1 Ito. All right. 200 pulls. 0 Itos. Alright, that's not great. 300 pulls. C2 E2 and 300 pulls. That's okay. It recovered. 400 pulls. 1 more Ito. Alright. 500 pulls. 0 Itos. That's not great. Alright, what are we at? C3 with 500 pulls? That's really terrible compared to Kokomi. Alright, 600 pulls. With 2 Itos, it recovered, kind of. I mean, this recovering makes sense because we have like guarantees going to the next pull and whatever, right? So it makes sense that we're seeing some of this weird alternation sometimes, right? But anyways, it's only really when when we start to see 3 5-stars or more per 10 pull or per 100 pull, that's a little bit abnormal, right? Because we've only seen that once, I think. Anyways, we have C5 Ito. That seems okay. I think we're on a 50-50. Yeah, we're on a 50-50. All right. We can win this 50-50, right? Do 25. Surely, really? Doesn't that go into like 80 pity? That's 84. Okay, one really funny thing. So like, for anyone that doesn't know, 90 pity is incredibly unlikely because of the way the soft pity system works. We're at 85 or 86. If I get a 90 pity happening in this anywhere, I've not like tracked the full data. I might, after I'm done recording this, go through separately. Oh gosh, but this means that would mean I have to edit. But I might spend 5 years of my life going through this and seeing if there's a single 90 pity. I don't think there will be. See, we didn't even get a 90 pity there. Like, it's incredibly, like, the difference. Hey, there's a C6E2. The difference between an 87 pity and a 90 pity is like many factors, like orders of magnitude, many orders of magnitude. It's like in the 1 in multiple millions chance that you get a 90 pity at all. So that was terribly unlucky still. It's still terrible, very unlucky to get an 87 thing, but it's not that crazy. Whereas a 90 pity is like, you're an anomaly if you got that unlucky, if you actually hit 90 pity. Anyways, next banner, Ito was not great, but now we're going to Shenhe. I can probably remember the order of the banners at this point, honestly. It goes Shenhe, and then I think Yai for new characters, and then Ayato, and then Yelan. Like, man, this is now we're in my memory logs, right? Anyways, let's go Shenhe, Blap. Okay, we starting at exactly 0 pity. We gotta reset to 100 here. Okay, 100 and 2 Shenhes. Wow, crazy. That's pretty good. All right, let's see what like pity that was at. 8 pity. Oh, that was a double. That was, well, okay, that was not. So this is why I wanted to do 10 pulls. It's because like this is not 10. This was in like 10 pulls of each other, but it's possible that the 10 pulls span from like wish from this wish to this wish, which would mean that these 2 Shenhes weren't in one 10 pull, even though they were within one 10 pull of each other. They weren't in the same 10 pull necessarily, because we're doing 10 pulls, we're doing 100 pulls. Anyways, point being, that's good start. 200 pulls. I'm just saying, like, I can't give you a statistic like how many times will we see a double 5-star temple. Nice. C2 and 200 pulls is quite good. 300 pulls, 1 Shen. Okay. Because we're not doing temples. So, you know. Alright, well, this is just like good 50-50 luck all, but nothing incredible as far as overall rates other than that first C1 Shenhe. We're at 500, and we have, I believe, C5. Yeah. Like, we're at, like as good as that seemed at the start, it turned into average. Essentially. Or actually still slightly above average. Well, if we win this next 50-50, we definitely are above average. But if we don't win this next 50-50, then we're going to be about average. And, yep, there you go. Told ya. All right, let's do 75. Okay, good. We have a 5-star. And, wow. Was it at pity or not? It was not at pity. It was a little bit early. But still, that basically went from, oh, really lucky early on to turned into average after going for C6. Like, law of large numbers tends to take effect when you start to wish a lot. That's my point. All right, let's switch this back to 100 and then go to the best character in the game. Not, well, definitely not really on an objective level, but, you know, the character who was the character that I was waiting for the most when I first started playing the game. Mrs. Yae Miko. Let's see if me and my favorability towards Yae Miko gives good Yae luck. I mean, it's a 50-50 win, but that's not... Yae is not going to be C6 and 300 pulls. That's completely evident here. 2 Yaes in a 200 pulls though is not terrible. C2 Yae in 300 pulls. Oh, that's a C3 Yae, right? Yeah, C3 Yae and 300 pulls. That's 4 Yaes and 400 pulls. That's not bad. That is bad. Okay. I think this is 500. Or is this 600? No, this is 500. Oh, that's 500 for C5. Not bad, not bad. Okay, 83 pity though. Well, it's a 50-50 win. Doesn't matter. You don't care if they're 80 pity as long as they're 50-50 wins. All right, let's do a 75. Bap. All right, this would be 575 for Yae Miko. Oh gosh. Well, okay. If we win a 50-50, it's still good. Okay, please, don't make me do 100 single pulls. Please, spare me. Spare me. Oh my god. What are we at? We're at 80. Please, just 81. Oh my god. I swear if this is a 50-50 loss and I've just single pulled my way to... Yes, there we go. C6 Yae. C6 Yae. We get above average Yae because Yae is wonderful. Alright, 10 out of 10. Not incredible. That award still goes to Kokomi, of course. But hey, she's above average. Anyways, now any future characters I barely care about. Okay, we're moving on to Ayato, I believe. Yep, Mr. Ayato's. Okie dokie. 100, we're starting with 0 pity. Wonderful. Alright, 100 pulls. 1 Ayato. Alright, how exciting. 200 pulls. 1 Ayato. How exciting. 300 pulls. 2 Ayatos. How exciting. 400 pulls. 1 Ayato. How exciting. I'm sorry. 500 pulls. And... Ooh. Okay. 600 pulls and 2 Ayatos? Recover? Yeah. Alright, it recovered. Sick. There you go. Boring, as Ayato is. But exactly what you would expect. 600. Wait, whoa, we have 0 pity, exactly. Crazy. Alright, let's go to the next one, which should be Yelan. Okay, version 2.7 Yelan. Also, by the way, this banner was the Eternal Ayaka banner, in case anyone doesn't remember. I remember looking forward to Yelan and then having to wait extra time for Yelan because of the COVID shutdowns in China. That was funny. Anyways, by the way, some of these are reruns. It feels like, because there's so many fewer characters back then, it's like, oh yeah, you only had to wait 1, 2, 3 versions. There was only a 3 version gap for getting an Ito rerun. Now it's just like a character releases and then it might not come back for a year. Good luck. Just, oh well. Anyways, it's still like a while to be clear, but it doesn't. I don't know. I've noticed the increase in time having to wait for a character. Is my point. All right, C6 Yelan. This is one that I've actually done in my game. And the only C6 limited 5-star I have, 100 pulls, 1 Yelan, and I regretted it. It made me like the character less. 200 with 2 Yelans. Ooh, 300 with only 2 Yelans. Ew. Oh boy. All right, 400. There we go. Okay, 400 for C2. Ooh, and 400 pulls we got in C2 Yelan. So for what it's worth, I think it took me about 500 pulls or 550 for C6 Yelan. So I think this Yelan's going to be a lot more expensive than it was for me. Either way, C6 Yelan in my actual game, that's lucky, is going to be of equivalent value in the Wishing Simulator as it is in my game, because I dislike them. I dislike C6 Yelan so much that I literally never use her. So she basically she turned into nothing by C6ing her. Anyway, I don't feel like explain. Someone's gonna be in the comments, be like, "Wait, why do you dislike C6 Yelan that much?" And this because she's boring. That's why. I'll keep it like that. But I don't use her anymore. Oh, we're at 75 pity. I should not have done that 100 pull. Because what pity was that at? Was that? Oh, that was at 75. I just made a mistake. I was yapping about my experience with C6. Okay, so we have to add 75. Actually, no, we can do this. I can do this by switching the next one to 25. Okay. Since we're at pity already. Actually, no. I'll just start with. We'll start with single pulls. We'll start with single pulls for the next one, but we'll treat it as if that's 100 pulls. Okay. But the overall average data is what matters at the end anyways, not the in-between data, yada yada. We're moving on. We get to go to version 2.8 was rerun. Yep, that's what I thought. And now we're on Dendro. Oh boy. Tignari is a standard banner character though, so I don't think we should actually wish on Tignari, because that would, like, I mean, we could, like, obviously we could choose to do that, but we should be able to get C6 Tignari theoretically. Not if we don't end not wishing on him directly. If we don't get him C6 somehow, not wishing on him directly after wishing for C6 of every character in the game, that would be insane. But it's possible. We might have to do that for Mizuki because Mizuki's not on standard banner that long. So, like, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna skip to Sino and Nilu. Is my point. And we're gonna count the first 5-star here. Oh, perfect. Hey, and it's a 50-50 win. But because of the fact that there was 75 pity built up from the previous one, we're going to count that as 100 pulls. I'm sorry. So that's starting slightly negatively biased for Sino. But this is 200 pulls we're pretending. Hey, 2 Candaces and 200 pulls. That's a bit rough. Well, no, it's two Candaces and 100 pulls. Sorry. Anyways, 300 pulls. As 1 Sino. Okay. So 300 pulls for C2, right? Yeah, okay. So pretty... okay. 400 pulls for 1 more Sino, but 3 5-stars. Okay. That's something. 500 pulls. That's not great. Okay. C4, that's what I thought. Okay. 600. That's C5. What are we at? 49 pity? Okay. Yeah, 49 pity. Switch to 25. Bap. Oh. Oh, we didn't even... Okay, well, we're just going to do 25. And get C6. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was 2 5-stars. What was this at? Was this a guaranteed Sino, or was that a 50-50 loss to... Nope, it was a guaranteed Sino and 8 pity. All right, another one of those. Interesting. I don't think we've seen any back-to-backs yet, but it's possible there's a back-to-back that we missed. But anyways, that was fairly average rate for Sino. Nothing crazy, I don't think. And moving on to... I'm blanking. Who was with Sino? Nilu. That was actually the last time that I can brain. It's fine. I can't brain. Who brains? No one brains. We got the Jade Cutter. Yeah, this was the last time Jade Cutter had like a normal weapon banner. That wasn't Chronicle banner, and the Chronicle banner was over a year ago. Anyways, oh, we forgot to switch to 100. Bap. Okay, this is 100 for seat something Nilu. C negatives infinity Nilu. We have no Nilus here. All right, well, that's sad. 200 pulls for 2 Nilus. All right, recovered, kind of. 300 pulse. C2. All right. Boring averages so far. All right. Are you seeing a pattern? 400 with another Nilu. All right. 500. Another Nilu. This is very not great. 600 might recover. Not really. Okay. Well, was that a guaranteed one? Let's double check. Yes, that was a... No, that was a 50-50 win. Okay, so our next one is 50-50 win for C6, maybe? Yes, nice. Alright, cool. Well, fairly average experience with Nilu. Oh, actually, slightly above average with experience with Nilu, simply because of the fact that that was a 50-50 win, very early pity. Not very early, less early than I thought. Okay. Alright, so we're starting at 72 pity for the next character. That's fine. We can set this to like 10 to factor that out. Again, we'll treat it as like, I don't know, we're gonna average things out at the end, so all the specific, I don't need to yap about the specifics. Let's just try to get through this. I think I can get back here by scrolling manually faster now. Okay, 3.2, right? Yeah, so this is just Nahida banner. Alrighty. Let's see. Do we start with a 50-50 win with Nahida? Yes, we do. What a world. Okay. So that functionally was 100 wishes again, because we already had built up pity. So 200 wishes. Woo. Okay. Functionally almost 300 wishes. 300 wishes with C1 is not great. 400 wishes. Okay. 400 wishes for C2 is pretty shite. That's pretty shite. This would be painful if this was your real money. Oh god, and it's continuing to be painful. 500 for C3. Okay. 600 for C3. 700 for C4. 800 for C6. Okay. I think it's still better than Eula was. But that was at least second worst, I think. Oof. That was terrible. Okay. Nahida, Eula, the worst so far. Boy. Oh boy. Okay. Next. We are doing... Oh yeah, it's Wanderer. Truly one of the best characters. A lot of people liked Wanderer. A lot of people still like Wanderer, I'm sure. But I personally wasn't a fan, and still not a fan, but maybe I'm just a hater of feet and an enjoyer of Farazons. I am an enjoyer of Farazons. 100 pulls and 4 Farazons is amazing. That's the real dub here. Let's be real. You'd be elated by this pull with 100 pulls. Anyways, let's see. 200 pulls. C2 Wanderer and oh, this is the real Wanderer experience in the original banner, where the difference in how Wanderer feels has nothing to do with its constellations or your build investment. It's more like, do you have C6 Farazon or not? And this simulation just did 200 pulls, got C2 Wanderer, but not C6 Farazon, even though it started really strong with Farazon. It then turned poorly, where 1 Farazon and 100 pulls. Anyways, 300. Hey, we got C6 Farazon now, I think. Right? Which is more important than the Wanderer. Yeah. 300 pulls for C6 Farazon. That's definitely below average, but not crazily below average for a C6 4-star. Anyways, 400 pulls. 3 or 5 stars. Well, okay. I don't think we've seen more than 3 5 stars in 100 pull, right? So far. That was 82 pity. Let's see. Oh, that was a back-to-back. Okay, we've definitely gotten a back-to-back. Although it was 80 pity, then a 50-50 loss back-to-back, and then another 80 pity, so that's kind of not great. But anyways, 400 pulls for C5 is pretty good, though, right? So, you know, that's something. And this is... Oh, and we have another C7. My bad. Look, that was an early. That was early as I couldn't control that one, okay? That was a 25 pity early. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. And it was a 50-50 win. The game trolled us with 2 50-50 wins with an very early. We got us another C7. Oh well. It happened while going for C6 Farazon, we can pretend. Alright. But it's still definitely above average rate for Wanderer, by the way. But not our best. Kokimi was still definitely our best. Alright. Anyways. Who was after Wanderer? I think it was... I don't need to pause. Just find the stupid thing in the list, you dummy. Oh yeah, I'll hate them. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Alhaitham. Wait, what? I think we were starting at basically 0 pity. And we're starting with 0 Alhaithams. Nice. All right. 200. 1 Alhaitham. 300. 2 Alhaithams. It's pretty terrible so far. But hey, it is what it is. 400. 2 more Alhaithams. All right. That's recovered a little bit. 500. Now it's not recovering. All right. 500 for C3. That's terrible. 600 for C4. He might be our new worst. He might be our new worst. 700. Oh, no, never mind. He's not. 700, he recovered. We got C6. And yep, almost exactly 700 wishes for a C6 Alhaitham. Wow, how exciting. Next, please. We're just going down the line. I feel like I'm losing all semblance of meaning in my brain right now. Oh, it was Dia. Okay, Dia, again, standard banner character. Have we lost a Tignari yet? I wonder if we have. And then 3.6 was Baiju. Okay, let's check right quick. What do we have for Tignari? We have 0 Tignaris, unless I'm blind. Okay, we might have to go back and wish for Tignari, actually. That'd be really funny if we have to go back to the standard banners to wish for Tignari, Dia, or Mizuki. Mizuki's the most likely one we'll have to go back and wish on, but anyways. 100 for Baiju. Hey, there's 1 Kave and 1 Baiju. 1 Kave and 100 pulls. That matches my experience with Kave. Oh wait, no, there's another Kave. He's just all the way back there. My bad. Anyway, sorry. 200. We gotta get through things quicker. This is already at an hour of recording. Good lord. 200 pulls and 1 Baiju. 300 pulls and 2 Baijus. Oh boy. 400 pulls and 400 and C2. Oh boy. 500. And okay, 500 and C3. That's pretty terrible. 600. Hey, we got a Tignari. Okay. 700. Hey, we got another Tignari. 600 and we only have C4. Is Baiju gonna be our new worst? 700. Or is this 8? No, this is 800. Sorry. Oh, well, 800 and okay. He's not our worst. He's not our worst. But we're out of wishes. Yep. Okay. Nope. We need to do this. Oh, wait. We have this, too. How many do we have? 1,600? Wow, what a world. Okay. Well, we gotta do this again. Hold, please. Look, unedited experience here. You probably like these sounds anyways. It probably tickles your Gamba, brain rot, dopamine centers that you've cultivated over the years to feel pleased or feel really terrible when you hear these sounds. It's one of the two. Either you feel really terrible for yourself for doing this, or you feel like you just needed a reward because you had disposable income and you wanted to get something in game and do some gambling. I wish to reiterate, don't spend money in this shite game. If you have the Gamba itch, maybe come to wishsimulator.app. Sorry, wishsimulator.app. Not... You don't spend this kind of money in the game. That should be the lesson here, is that, like, it's really stupid to spend this kind of money in game, right? But anyways, sorry, my brain's computing. It's fine. Wait, I forgot we need to go and do this blap. Okay, next, who's after Baiju? I can't even remember. I'm not gonna try to remember now. It was... Okay, there's Baiju 3.6. Yai. Oh, that was a rerun patch. Okay. Oh, there was just 2 rerun. Man, remember when that used to happen? Where they had 2 full rerun patches in a row? That's crazy. And now we're on to 4.0. That also feels crazy. They were already on to 4.0. This is actually going faster than expected. I mean, it's not that surprising. We're doing 1,000 wishes at a time. Or sorry, 100 wishes at a time. Anyways, Linny. Sorry, I didn't mean to stall this much. We have 10,000 wishes. What a sight. Anyways, are we starting with near 0? Close enough to 0. Yeah, it's fine. Alright. 100 for Linny. 1 Linny. Alright, cool. 200. Linny. Well, hey, 1 per 100 is fine. Yep, same thing. A new cat. Crazy. Did we not wish on a Kirara banner? Oh yeah, because Kirara is added in one of the previous patches. Oh, that's funny. I'm I'm assuming we'll probably get her C6 without... I didn't think about... This video is going to be titled, like, how much money to get C6 of every character. If we wind up with not C6 of 1 4-star, I apologize. That would be an oversight. I just assumed it was going to happen naturally in going for C6 of every 5-star. Hey, it's a Dia. Very good. We're at 500 pulls, by the way, if I kept track correctly. And we have C4. Okay, so very meh rates for Linny so far. 600, and we have C5. And we have 50 pity, so may as well go to this. 25. Do we win the 50-50? We do. Hey, look at that. All right, wonderful. We are 600, about 600 wishes exactly. 650, I think, total if we factor in the original pity. How exciting. Very average. You're boring, Mr. Linny. Not in kit. He actually has an interesting kit, to be clear. But you're boring as far as polling for. All right, moving on. We have, the Nubilet and Risley patch. Oh boy. I can't believe only Risley just got his first rerun like a month ago, by the way. Whatever, sorry, anyways. The 100 for Nubilet. Alright, 1 Nubilet and a Kaching. 200. 2 Nubilets. 300. 3 Nubilets. Alright, this is boring. 500. Sorry, I skipped something. I also skipped that. All right, 400 for C3. That's pretty... Eh. All right, 500. 2 Nubilets. Okay. So 500, and we have C5. That's... Yep. Okay, so slightly above rate, I'd say. Although it's going to... If we don't win this 50-50, it's going to turn into basically at rate. We'll do 70. As there's a pity here. Hey, we won. All right, there we go. So, a bit above rate Nubilet. Nubilet likes us. Let's go. Okay. Next is Mr. Risley, who's much more important. I would love to see a Risley steal, like, Kokomi's Thunder. It feels a little bit weird if Kokomi's the one we got luckiest with. It's safe to say, though, like, we're seeing fairly consistent numbers, right? This is the law of large numbers. This was the lesson of the video. There's Mr. Risley. Hello, sir. Alright. 100 for Risley. 0 Risleys. Well, Risley's not beating Kokomi's record, I'll tell you that. 200. 200 with 1 Risley. Oh boy. 300. With 2 Risleys. I was a little bit worried it was going to be 300 wishes with 0 or only 1 Risley. There's probably going to be... I expected there to be like 1 character with 300 wishes and only got 1 copy of the character, because it's not, guaranteed to get 2 copies of character and 300. But anyways, I don't think we've seen that yet. 400. Okay, 400 with C2, I think. That's pretty terrible, but it might recover. 500. It's not recovering. 600. It's not recovering. We're at C4, right? Yeah. Alright, 700. It's not recovering. Well, I wanted Risley to be one of our best, and he was one of our worst. That's 800. That's 800, and we have to do like 25 more. I don't think he's the worst, if I kept track of the EULA properly, but he's definitely among the worst. Hello. Okay, well, that's not great. Rip Risley. I said I liked him, and he said he didn't like me back. He knew I wasn't being genuine. Alright, the all-important Farina banner. One of the more popular actual C6s in the game. Certainly one of the most overpowered C6s in the game also, in my opinion. And off to a wonderful start. one Charlotte, by the way, and 100 pulls too. Wow. Okay. 200 pulls. Hey, there we go. That's 3 5-stars there. Bam. That's a bit of a recovery. 300 pulls. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. 300 for C2. Pretty okay. 400. Oh, alright. 400 for C4 is pretty good. Hey, we are suddenly at, above rate. 500. Dia. I mean, I consider that better than a double Farina pull, just saying. But that is C5 Dia, or sorry, C5 Farina with 18 pity currently. Was that a 50-50 loss? No, it was a 50-50 win. Okay. So let's just do a 60. See if we win our last 50-50. We do. Hey, there we go. Pretty above rate. Well, not pretty above rate. It's still pretty average. Like, even when we have these, like, a little bit above rate with, like, the last 50-50 win or not, like, oftentimes whether or not it's above rate slightly or below rate slightly just comes down to winning the 50-50 at C6, right? Which is kind of boring in a way, right? I don't know. Anyways, decent rate for Farina. Crazy. Who cares? Navia. Let's move on to Victorian Angel. Alright. 100. Navia. Sick. Alright, look at all them Rosarias. Alright. 200. 0 Navias. That's not good. 300. Hey, 1 Navia. Alright, this is not great. 400. Oh, that's better. Alright. That's C3, right? Yeah, C3. 500. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, 600. 2 Navias, right? No. Oof. Oof. 600 for C4 is not great. Alright, 700. That's a lot of 5 stars, but only 1 Navia. Oof. Oof. Alright, well, we probably have a guarantee. Yeah, we do. Okay, well, if I kept track correctly, this was a little bit under 800 wishes, which is not the worst. Oh. Well, she's trying to be the worst. Bam. There we go. Hello, Navia. Okay. Next. Who's next? Let's set this back to 100. Bam. Man, this is like the laziest video I could have thought to make, and it's still taking me an annoyingly long time just to record it. I'm not gonna spend like a little bit making the thumbnail too. Anyway, sorry. I need to remember this is unedited, and I shouldn't spend too long yapping. Who's after Navia? Shanyun. Ah, yes. Shanyun Banner. Okay. Shanyun Banner. We're at 0 pity. Perfect. Accurate statistics character. Dia, you're wonderful. But you're gonna make the Shanyun statistics terrible. But anyways, 200. I skipped by accident. We know it was a guaranteed. Oh, there was 2 in there. Okay. Well, 200 for C1. Pretty good. Lucky recovery there. 300 for C3. Wow, this is very above rate. That's somehow very recovered at the end. Let's see. I'm just kind of curious how this went. There's a 16 pity guarantee. Okay. And then, let's see. One of these had to be very, very early. 74. What? Have I missed track of things? Something? 80 pity. What? Okay, I clicked through them too fast. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. 300 pulls in C3 is pretty good, though. 400 pulls. Unless I kept, I don't know, whatever. 400 for C4. It's mostly just a recovery, really. But 500 for C... Ew. 2 Deluxe. Ew. Okay. Well, 500 for C5. I think we have a guarantee, is what that means with the Deluxe there. Yep, okay. So this was, you know, assuming this one comes at pity, which presumably it will. This was slightly, okay. This was slightly above rate. Come on, please. Come on. It was about 600 wishes. Point being, if it will give me the C6 ever. Oh, come on. Don't make me do 100 single pulls. There we go. Okay. Bam. Wonderful. How exciting. Next, please. We haven't seen anything exciting as far as rates since the Kokomi, right? I want another Kokomi incident. Give me a Kokomi incident. Give me more jellies. Jellyfish. Give me more Cokes. Give me more KOKs. Give me more Sorry, I was just trying to re-app while I was leading up to the thing. Oh, the first Chronicle banner. How exciting. The last time this weapon was... It was... Sorry. We at... Oops. We are at 0. Yes, okay. Oh, yeah, duh, because I did the single pulse. Alright. 100 for 0 Chioris. Alright. 200. We've yet to see 300 pulls and only 1 copy of a character. That can happen. It might happen now. 200 pulls and 1 Chiori. 300 pulls and 1 Chiori. I knew it was going to happen once. My condolences if this is you, for any banner from in the past till the end of time. Spending 300 wishes on a banner and only getting a C0 character is absolutely brutal. But it is a thing that can happen, as just illustrated. 400. Chiori might be our worst yet. Oh, never mind. Maybe not. Suddenly recovered. 400 in C2. Still could be very bad, though. We'll see how it goes. This is 500 and C3. Okay. 600 and C4. All right. 700 and C5. Okay. Do we have a guarantee or not? No, we do not. Okay. And this is, I think, 7 or 800? I think it's 800, if I recall. And, oh boy. Okay. Well, where's that at? 20? Okay. We can just do 60. Bam. So that was among the worst, for sure. It started terribly and ended terribly. Yep. Oh, that was early, though, actually. Okay. It did, but actually, okay, I don't think she was the worst. I don't think she was the worst, assuming I kept track of stuff accurately early on, which I might not have. By the way, we're at $56,000. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yup. Wow. Okay. That was pretty bad, to say the least. I wonder if we're going to see a very noticeable increase in the average rate once we get into version 5.0 with the capturing radiance mechanic. We should, theoretically, or maybe it'll be mostly the same. I don't know. Anyways, the after Chiori was Arlecchino. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so history here. Here, we're gonna do a 50 pull and count that as 100 because we're at 50 pity currently. Because of that early. So this is 100 functionally for Arlecchino. Alright, and starting with the 50-50 win. Alright. And switch back to 100. Bam. Alright, 200. Alright, 200 for C1. 300. Alright, this is fairly boring so far. 400. Extremely boring so far. I mean, we're getting 2 5-stars per 100 pulls. That's good, but we're losing a lot of 50-50s. 500. Yeah, okay. So 500 and we have C4? Yeah, okay. So if those are 50-50 wins, this would have been really good, but they weren't. So it's not. Yeah, see all the 50-50 losses. Anyways, okay, so C5, is that last one a 50-50 loss, or is that a 50-50? No, that was a 50-50 loss. Okay, so we're at C5. That's okay, so this was fairly average, basically. We'll do a 50 pull in here, as long as it's not early. That'll put us at pretty much 0. Perfect. Yeah, pretty much exactly 0 for the next character. All right, very average Arlecchino. Not exciting. Bam. Okay. Who's next? You think I could remember? Because this was not that long ago. Oh yeah, Siegeween. And Chlorinde. Wait, Chlorinde was first, technically. We'll do Chlorinde. Okay. So 100 pulls for Chlorinde. 1 Chlorinde and a Chi-Chi. Oh boy. 200. Another Chlorinde. Wonderful. 300. 1 more Chlorinde. Correct me if I'm wrong. We haven't seen a single 100 pull that got more than 3 5-stars, right? 400. I think. Ooh. Oof. That's not great. We're at 400 with only C2. 500. I think. Okay. Lots of 50-50 losses lately. 600. Okay. 700. Oh, well, okay. Recovered. That was 3 5-stars, I believe. Yep. Oh, 3 5-stars and it was a 50-50 loss. Okay. So that makes it kind of weird to factor in the next character. Like, it's gonna... The next character is going to be a lower than average because we got this 3 pity gene, right? There's not much I can do about that, but this is something that happens in reality for accounts anyways, so it's fine. Again, we're going to look at like the total number of pulls divided by the number of characters at the very end, and that's like going to be the important conclusion, not the, you know, one specific character. But if there's any character, my point is, that is likely to beat Kokomi, Siegeween has started, which is Siegeween, another healer. Siegeween is at an advantage for total number of pulls, right? To beat Siegeween, or to beat Kokomi. Point is, It depends on this poll. 3 siege wins, 1 poll. Oh, okay, never mind. Nope, no one's beaten Kokomi. All right, 100 polls, 1 Kokomi, or 1 siege win. 2. Oh, all right, well, okay. 200 polls in C2 though. 300. Yep, definitely not beating Kokomi. 400. Definitely not beating Kokomi. All right, 500. Definitely not beating Kokomi. Well, it's not that bad, but again, she started with an advantage. So the fact that, okay, actually, the fact that she, we do have a guarantee. The fact that she started with an advantage and she's still ending up pretty average, like only slightly above average, I think, is kind of terrible, really. So that was actually like, there's a lot of 50-50 losses there, I think. Of course. Of course. Of course she's now one of our, she's like, oh, hello, would you like an early? 2 earlies? I did enough to get to pity, and there was 2 earlies. And the one was a 50-50 win. A freaking troll game. Either way, that basically that C7 just invalidated the guarantee that she started with. So it was average either way. That didn't change anything, Siegeween. You changed nothing. You can't make me look at you favorably just because that happened. That doesn't benefit us at all. Anyways, so whatever. Next, we're going into Emily. Emily, a so vastly underappreciated character. We gotta change to 100 polls. Bam. Oops. There we go. Okay, and we're starting with 14. That's perfectly fine. All right, 100 for Emily. 1 Emily. All right, boring start, but boring is not bad. Oh, look at that. C2 Emily in 200 polls is pretty dang good. About 300 polls. Oh my gosh. Okay. Suddenly C4 Emily in 300 polls. This is some of the best we've seen. If we get lucky with the next one, she could match or beat Kokomi. Though I don't know Kokomi's exact polls, but then there was about 400. She is not beating Emily. Sad. But that's it. Is it all 50-50 wins? Let me check. 50-50 win. Alright, because I want to know before we go next, right? 50-50 win. Wait, no, that's guaranteed. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I just couldn't remember. It's fine. Anyways, this could be definitely above rate still. What are we at? 30 pity? Okay. Let's do a 50. It's definitely above rate if we win this 50-50 especially. And we don't. Rip. We'll do another 50. Oh, there's early. Okay. Hey, there you go. What was it at? Early at like 20 pity. Okay. There you go. Or wait, no, that was not a 20 pity. I just counted wrong. It's fine. I can't count. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I don't know why I can't count. It's fine. 100. Blap. Emily was relatively not... it was above average, but not incredible or anything. Anyways, this was the last pre-capturing Radiance banner, which is important because capturing Radiance, to keep things simple, should significantly increase the chance of getting the featured 5-star character. And the 5-star, like the capturing Radiance animation, by the way, is implemented on here. So we'll see the capturing Radiance animation when it triggers. To briefly, okay, so 100 pulls. To briefly explain how capturing Radiance works, it basically tracks how many 50-50 losses you have. So if you have multiple 50-50 losses in a row, specifically if you have 3, the next 50-50 is not a 50-50, it's actually guaranteed. So you can't lose more than 3 50-50s in a row. If you're on 2 50-50s in a row, your third one is also 25-75 instead of a 50-50. There's also a base chance for it to trigger that is extremely low, but it can just trigger off of technically any 50-50 loss can get converted. And the functional end rate over time is that it's a 55% chance to get the character versus a normal 50-50 before version 5.0, right? So that reduces the average cost of getting the 5 stars when you're doing lots of wishes in particular quite significantly. But like it's by quite significantly, I mean like we might save 50 to 100 wishes on average. Right now it looks like almost exactly normal. We're at C1 with 200 pulls, right? And we are at, oh, I should let the animation play, but we're at C2 with 300. I want to see capturing gradients. 400. No capturing gradients. All right. All right. 500. Oh, I didn't. Whatever. What are we at? I wasn't keeping track. 500. C4. Okay. 600. No capturing gradients. And I think we've lost a bunch of 50-50s, that's for sure. So we probably are going to see a Capturing Radiance. Oh boy, 600 pulls and only C4 is pretty terrible, especially with Capturing Radiance existing now. Hey, look at that. Told you it exists. Wow. It's got the sound and everything implemented. How exciting. Skip. And we got 2 Mualanis straight to C6, right? So basically that's I think that's actually a perfect illustration of what I think Capturing Radiance does, is like it doesn't ultimately crazily affect the, like, if you were planning to go for a C6, but this also is equivalent to, like, over the course of a year, if you're planning on acquiring 7 total limited 5-stars at C0. This is the same thing since version 5.0, right? It's just 7 5-stars total. You should expect to get, you know, spend about 100 pulls on average. It basically, in my opinion, Capturing Radiance is best treated as, like, it evens out the statistical oddities, right? Where it makes it basically impossible to have what happened earlier with, like, 900 pulls for Eula or whatever, or 850 for Risley C6. It should make it much, 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 much more consistent to get 7 featured characters, even if they're not the same character, in about 600 pulls, right? I'd be quite surprised if we see any character after Mualani go over 600-ish pulls. Like, I'd be very, like, 700 pulls is probably what I'd be very surprised specifically. I don't think it's crazily unlikely to go past 700, but I think it's very, very unlikely to go much past 600, 700, right? So, anyways, enough yapping. Kaniche next. We're at, what does it say? Beginner's Wish. What? Okay. We're at 7 pity. It's perfect. It is going to track our capture ratings, like 50-50 loss streak from the previous banner, I believe. So that's a factor. Will be for you, and it is for this fake simulation too. And that's a terrible start. All right. So, anyways, 200 pulls for Kaniche. Watch Kaniche immediately get like 800 pulls. 1 Kaniche and 200 pulls. Alright, I don't know why I waited so long. Alright, 2 Kaniches and 300 pulls. Okay, 4 Kaniches in... I was missing the button. Alright, did I say 4 Kaniches? Alright, 400 pulls for C2. That's actually terrible. Oh god. Kaniches immediately, after my whole spiel there, Kaniche is at risk. Okay, that's a recovery. Kaniche was at risk. I think it's fine now. Kaniche was at risk of, like, getting to 800 pulls. Oh, he very recovered. Jesus. Wow, okay. He just, like, turned into one of our better rates. Wow, okay. Good job. Good job, my boy. Alright, next. And we are on to Shalonen. What's our... Why do you keep doing that? Well, it's probably my fault. It's user error, I think. Oh, we're at 53. Okay, so that means we should probably do, like, 30 to start. We can treat this as about 100. If it's a 50-50 win, at least we will. Well, no, we should treat it regardless if it's a 50-50 win. Okay, so yes, I know that puts, like, again, the comparison is not meant to be, like, specifically how many the individual characters. That's just something I've been doing for the framework of this video for the fun of it. The end numbers is what's important. Yada yada. 1 Shalonen and 100 pulls, we're at 1 Shalonen and 200 pulls. It's pretty terrible. But again, Capturing Radiance is the balancer. 300 pulls and only 2 Shalonens, right? Yeah, it's pretty terrible. 400 pulls. Oh boy. Shalonen's also gunning for the over 700 pulls despite Capturing Radiance. 500. Okay. This is terrible. This is 500 wishes for C3 with Capturing Radiance existing. 600. Okay. We get a Capturing Radiance. How many? Okay. There we go. Told you it evens things out. That's 600 and suddenly we're at C5. And might have not been at C5 with 600 pulls without Capturing Radiance, right? And is the last one... What, are we on a guarantee or a 50-50 loss? Or are we in a guarantee or do we need to win a 50-50? We are on a guarantee. So basically, we're basically at pity. So that Capturing Radiance basically just took what was, like, terrible. That was actually perfect for proving my point of what Capturing Radiance seems to do in process. Like, it evens out your luck to be much more expected towards the average, right? Whereas you had higher there was so much more high variance over time than there is now. But now it's like Charlotte is just going to be at like almost exactly 600 pulls, right? For C6, if we can get the last guaranteed one. Yeah, there you go. Bam. So I don't know. Like, what this should illustrate to you is that capturing Radiance, I think, is a wonderful implementation. I think the only real problem with capturing Radiance in practice is the fact that, it's particularly if you're tracking your pulls properly, it makes it very hard to justify wishing for 4 stars. And you might be like, why? Well, duh, just don't wish for 4 stars. But like, 4 stars are really good sometimes. Like, Oron's great. I actively do think it is sometimes worth taking the risk for 4 stars, but it's much, much, much harder to weigh that risk with capturing Radiance being a thing, because losing like your capturing Radiance for something else, like it's pretty bad. Like, I had to lose my capturing Radiance getting 2 5 stars that I was like, I didn't want duplicates of the 5 stars that badly when I was wishing for C6 Eons on, but I had to use my capturing Radiance because I had lost 3 50-50s in a row, and I had pity built up. Anyways, point being, let's see what happens with Chaska. 0 Chaskas and 100 pulls. 200 pulls. And why is Chaska's art broken? Whatever, maybe you just wanted to see the thigh anyways. the wishing simulator developer knows what you want, and they're giving you what you want. Anyway, 2 Chaskas and 200 pulls. 300 pulls, 1 more Chaska. Alright, right? Yeah, okay. 400 pulls. 2 more Chaskas, alright. So, and I'm sure some of these are capturing Radiance triggers, right? I'm not looking at every single one of these. This is 500 pulls on whether or not they're capturing Radiance or not. 500 with C4, but I'm willing to bet because of capturing Radiance, it is likely we get 2 Chaskas in the next 100 pulls. And we have 50 pity right now. I think it's very likely. No capturing Radiance. That doesn't mean capturing Radiance didn't help. It just means it could be 50-50 wins. I lied. Okay, well. But I think our pity's high. Yeah, I told you. I told you. We're gonna do single pulls. Because I want to be proven right. I want to be at 600 and get C6 Chaska. Which means I think wait, are we on a 50-50? Let me double check here. Yeah, we are on a 50-50. Okay. Or a capturing Radiance. I don't know how many 50-50s we lost in a row. Okay. Either 50-50 win or hey, there we go. Look, told you. See? 600. Like, capturing Radiance, the great equivalent to Benizer. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just glazing Mihoyo's implementation of capturing Radiance. I really wish they would, like all gacha games would implement something like this. It just, like, feels so much better to play these gacha games over time, I feel like, for acquiring the rarest rarity characters, at least. Oh boy, this banner. Because, like, acquiring, like, the 5 stars at more consistency over time, like something that makes people stop playing gacha games is losing, like, just having like 6 months in a row where you just lose 5 50-50s in a row. That just feels terrible, right? Especially if you have like a friend that's playing that won 18 50-50s in a row and you're just like, frick you stole my luck, right? It's the capturing Radiance doesn't fundamentally change the numbers crazily, right? We're still taking 600 pulls to get a C6 character, but it makes it much more even, right? Like, it just makes it less random. It makes it less gacha. And that's a brilliant implementation. Making the gacha less gacha is good. Anyway, we'll save Silali for after, because Silali is better than Mawika and much more important. Yeah, it's 100 for Mawika. Good. You know what I want? I want Mawika to be the one that proves my glazing of capturing Radiance wrong. I want Mawika to take 1,000 pulls by some crapshoot, ungodly, unlucky RNG. 1 Mawika and 200 pulls off to a wonderful start. Sorry, I'm kind of accidentally hating on Mawika for reasons that are unimportant for this video. 2 Mawikas and 300 pulls. Okay, well, no, I think some capture Radiance took effect here. 4 Mawikas, yeah, 4 Mawikas and 400 pulls. We're at a fairly average rate. 500, another Mawika, alright. 600, does it recover completely? It does not recover completely. We're at 600 with C5. Are we on a 50-50 or not? Yes, we are on a 50-50. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how much past 600 she goes. I think there's a very good chance this is a capturing Radiance. Okay, well, we're at pity. That's fine. There's a very good chance I think this next one is a capturing Radiance trigger. based on how many 50-50s that might have been lost. I don't know. Again, I'm not tracking the 50-50 losses because we're wishing too fast, right? But okay, can you just give us 5-star? If we get this 5-star here, oh, not a capturing radiance trigger, so maybe a 50-50 win. Told you. See, it's the great equalizer. It took 650, which is like, I think the worst we've seen of the Natlan character so far, but nowhere near the worst of what all the other ones were. So, anyways, oh, there's outfits now in the list. That's really funny. Okay, this should be the last we need. Wishes we don't need to buy anymore. I mean, buy any more fake wishes. Anywho's, Sitlali is another one of my favorite characters. Right, starting as exactly 0, and Sitlali is gonna beat Kokomi. Guaranteed. Sitlali is gonna be C6 and 350. She's gonna recover. There's gonna be 5 Sitlalis in this one pull. Six Sitlalis in this one pull. Told you. That's actually not a good sign. Wait. How many pulls have I done? 300, I think? Oof. I think 400, if I kept track properly. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Don't know. It can't be a character that I like that proves me wrong. Oh, okay. We're at 500 if I kept track. 500 for C4. It is recovering. 600 for C5. Okay. 600 for C5, and we are on a 50-50. Okay. So, not great, but we'll put in 75 here. Definitely not great. And we won the 50-50 on the end. It still was not that much above average. Or it was still not crazily different, right? It still was not in the 800s like the terrible other ones, but that was pretty bad for you know, I definitely think capturing radiance still had an effect there, right? Like, it's so much more unlikely to go past 700, like I said. I think, from my understanding of the numbers, that's what's basically happening here, is it's very unlikely to go past 700. And we only really have a couple more opportunities for this, really. In fact, we only really have one, because there's only Veressa and Mizuki left. I'm going to wish on Veressa first, because of the fact that Mizuki is a standard banner character, and wishing on Veressa banner means we might get copies of Mizuki, right? But we probably have to wish for Mizuki to get her C6, technically. So let's go here, Blap. Choose you. Alrighty. We're starting with basically 0. Veressa. So it seems to be no one's going to beat Kokomi's high. Oh well, is what it is. I didn't mean to skip. What did we get? We got C0. Okay. And there's another Veressa with 200, 300. Another Veressa. How exciting. Okay, 400. Another Veressa. Okay, 500. Another Veressa. Okay. 600. C6. Recover averages. Lanyan. Uh-oh. Lanyan is a 4-star we don't have C6 of. I'm going to have to go through the list and see what 4-stars we don't have. And we're going to have to wish for some 4-stars, I think. Uh-oh. Okay, anyways, we're at 600. We're really not getting that lucky with our 5-stars, are we? But anyways, how about 660 wishes for Veressa? Okay. Well, we got a Mizuki. Well, Veressa's definitely going to be the worst here. We'll do another 75. This is going to put us at 750, I think, for Veressa. Yep, about 750, unless that was early. Nope, that was not. So Veressa was definitely the worst, I think, of the post-capturing radiance one. So it's still definitely possible to go past 700. But, you know. Anyways. This doesn't necessarily prove anything, obviously. This is all statistical RNG BS. You know this. You understand. Actually, you know, let's see if we get Mizuki with our remaining 500. 500 wishes for 6 copies of Mizuki. Right, that's what we need. Let's see. Okay. Did we get C6 units on, by the way? I sure hope so. Yes, we got C16. Very good. I think it might be just Lanyan. We don't have C6 for 4 stars. Also, look how many copies of Saint we have. Good God. Sorry, we're getting distracted. Don't look at that yet. We can look at that after. Mizuki, because she's too new. Otherwise, if we had more banners to wish on since Mizuki's release, we wouldn't have to wish on our banner, right? But anyways, let's see, Mizuki. Can we get 6 copies and 500 wishes? That's what we want to see. All right. No, is my guess. 200. Actually, I don't need to track these. We have okay. Oh boy, we have the counter up top. We just want to not have to go back to the shop, right? That would be a failure. I think we're gonna have to go back to the shop. Rip. Well, capturing Radiance. How exciting! Okay, I also don't think we beat 3 5-stars in one. I don't think we've gotten more than 3 5-stars in a 100 pull. It's kind of surprising. Like, I would have thunk that we would have beat that. Also, wait, Dia isn't C6 yet? What's a Dia at? Where are you? Where's the wonderful Dia? So all the original standard banner characters are definitely C6. They're much past C6. Oh, Dia just got to C6. Okay, wonderful. What about Tignare? Where's he? He's also C6. Okay, so yeah, it's just Mizuki we gotta get, and she's C4 right now. Okay. Well, that's fine. Blap. I bet you we will get C6 right here, which should be about 600 pulls. I lied. Apparently Mizuki wants to end with a poop splash. A really big poop splash. My god. How many wishes was this for Mizuki? Okay, well, I guess we're at 64 pity already, and maybe was that a 50-50 loss? I think it was. Yeah, it was a 27 pity 50-50 loss, so, you know, we can, here, do 15 wishes. Oh, or not. Okay, well, here, we end off with a regular Ars 10 bowl. In pity, with a guarantee. Wait, we're at 79. If the last pull on here goes to 90 pity for C6 Mizuki, that would be so funny. That'd be a perfect way to end this. Don't get a 5-star. No 5-star. Dang it. Ah, I really wanted it. Oh, how long has that box been sitting there? Oh, it's right there. Hello. Is there another C7 Mizuki? Nope. Sad. Okay. Is what it is. Got some toilet paper. Perfect way to end it. All right. Duplicate toilet paper. Well, all right. First of all, let's look at some stats. History. Totals spent 4,623,040 Primo Gems. Estimated if you bought, like, this is not factoring like how many of those you would get like for free over time in the game. I suspect if you actually spent this money, like, or factored in the Primo Gems, you're probably more like 50,000 US dollars, right? If you actually played the video game and didn't just only spend money and only use it as a gambling simulator, right? Which I hope you don't. But 76,280. Total amount of pulls is 28,894. We're going to look at the 4-stars in a little bit, by the way. But that 28,894 is actually, I think, the important one I care about right now. Because we're going to count the number of 5-star characters. And yes, I know there's Lanyan, which, honestly, Lanyan being C1 is kind of funny to me. Because Lanyan, I think, has been the most painful 4-star for me to get on my main account. It functionally took me 300 pulls to get C2 Lanyan. Or sorry, no, 200 pulls to get C2 Lanyan. So I basically treat every Lanyan as the same cost as a 5-star. And that's fine, because she's basically a 5-star to me. No, it's not fine. It's actually miserable. But anyways, I think this is every 4-star in the game, C6, other than Lanyan, which is probably just a side effect of her being too new. I don't think there's a 4-star that released that I'm forgetting. That we don't have C6. Hopefully I'm not, but I don't know. Let me know if I'm missing a 4-star. We'll go back and get her C6 and see how painful that is. It'd be funny to have a painful 4-star run at the very end of this. But let's just count the number of 5-stars, right? I wanna average out with this 28,894. First I'll just look at the limited 5-stars, and then we can add the total number of standard banner 5-stars in. And I'm gonna put Mizuki in the limited banner category here because of the fact that we only lost one 50-50 to her on the Vressa banner. She functionally was a limited character for the purpose of this video. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. 46 limited 5-star characters for the purpose of this math. So 46 times 7. I'm doing times 7 because it takes 7 copies of these characters to get them to C6. I'm not factoring the +1s on the couple characters. I think Wanderer, Albedo, and Siegeween that we got, because those were functionally nothing. I'm not going to count nothing characters. To answer the question of like how much does it cost to get all C6 5-star characters in the game, right? So that's 322 total characters. So we just have to take 28,894 divided by 322, and that gives us an average cost of 1. So I said 1 in 100, which is like the simple one, but the actual answer is 1 in every 89.7 wishes. So on average, over time, so this is just law of large numbers, right? This would be the same experience if you were just wishing yourself on your account playing the game for 5 years, right? Your overall average should look pretty similar, where it's 1 featured banner character every 90 pulse, essentially. Factoring in earlies, factoring in the new capturing radiant system, over time, yada yada. 1 in every 90 pulls is what your numbers should look like, because it's just law of large numbers when you're talking spending this many wishes. You know, the exact number would be slightly different, obviously. It's still RNG inherently, but the way that the guarantee system works makes it in particular so that, like, when you average these things out, that's what it would be. This is also why, like, on Mohoyo's end, they, like, can structure things exactly with a plan of, like, knowing how much money they're going to make. Also, this is what the weapons look like. Apparently, we're getting 2,000 copies of Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers. Let's go. And a heckin' lot of fab weapons. Beautiful. Best weapons in the game. And 0 5-star weapons, because they're not on character ban, of course. Anyways, I'm sure if someone was actually doing this in reality, you know, they would have spent more money than this. You would probably double the number. Again, let me know if you want to see like a stupid weapon banner video and see how terrible the weapon banner was early on. I guess that could be interesting. Yeah, obviously sorry, if we look at the history, right, for the total like number of wishes spent, this easily could be doubled, because if you like R5 weapons, the weapon banner is terrible value. We were just looking at characters, because characters is far more important than weapons. But in practice, you know, some people obviously would wish for weapons if you're going for C6s of characters, I would assume. By some, I mean almost all. Doesn't mean you're going for R5, but like I think anyone going for C6 of a character is at least getting the base like refinement 1 level of the weapon. So anyways, we need to go back to Lanyon's banner and to actually technically finish this video to end it off. Because it's so funny to me that Lanyon is the last thing we need to finish with. All right, this would be on Arlecchino and Clarin's rerun banner, and that's why we didn't get any copies of her, of course, because we didn't wish on her banner. But let's see. What's your vote? I'm gonna say 250 polls to get C6 Lanyon. We already have C1 for what it's worth, so I'm guessing very pessimistically here. Right. So I don't know. All right, we're at 20. All right, 30. This is the 4-star experience. 40. Please skip. It's still none. I think I was right. 50. No Lanyons in 50 polls. Oh, this is exactly what I remember. This is what happened to me when I wished for Lanyon. 60 polls. No Lanyons. No, 1 Lanyon. C2 Lanyon. 1 Lanyon and 60 polls. Here, let's just do a whole bunch of these. Alright, we're at C2 Lanyon. Okay, so we need 4 more copies. We're at 60. 70. No more. Alright. 80. Oh boy. There's a 5-star. Who cares? Oh, there's a real 5-star and a fake 5-star. Okay, so that's 80. 2 copies and 80 polls. 90. Alright. Nope. 100. If only there was a, like, 100 polls and we've gotten 2. For what it's worth, by the way, the expected average for 4 stars on banner with the complete RNG of them is like 1 in 35. Because there's no way to guarantee them like there's for 5 stars, like or even for weapon banner, right? Like which you can't guarantee 4-star weapons and weapon banner, and technically 5-star weapons. 110. Like it causes this terrible situation where you can just spend hundreds of wishes technically and not get the C6 of the 4-star. Oh my god, we're at 120 with only 2 copies. 130. Oh my god. This is exactly like my wishes went when I wished for Lanya on my account. This is exactly, I got a Dia too when I was wishing for Lanyan. I think we're at 140. Why is this? This is literally like almost exactly what happened. I got a Dia. I mean, it wasn't C6 Dia, I wish. But like I got so few Lanyans. I got more 5-stars than I got Lanyans. And that I just, oh my god, I was right. I'm not even keeping track anymore. I think at this point, we know. I was correct. I was correct with my estimate. I think I was optimistic with my estimate of 250 pulls for C6 Lanyan. What is happening? How is this bad? Why are 4-stars so terrible to acquire? Oh my god. Okay, I think we're almost at 250 now. Even though I've just kind of stopped keeping track. Oh my god. We're at C3 still. What? Oh my god, C4. Holy crap. Okay. Hello, Arlecchino. Honestly, this is a wonderful way to end this video because I've said for a long time that the worst part about playing Genshin Impact long term is trying to acquire 4-stars. And I mentioned... we got a double 5-star pull. 35 biddy into 1 biddy. And we still have C4 Lanyan. We've gotten 3 copies of Arlecchino and 3 copies of Lanyan. I've mentioned for a long time how the worst part of playing Genshin Impact long term is how painful it is to get 4-stars. So this is honestly the best ending to this video I could have possibly asked for. We've gotten an equivalent number of Arlecchinos as we have Lanyans. We had a double early 5-star pull. And we have a capturing radiance. What? What? There's a Lanyan. So we still have as many Arlecchinos as we have Lanyans. Oh. We still need one more Lanyan. Oh my god. We've gotten 4 copies of Lanyan on this banner and 4 copies of Arlecchino. I can't believe this. This ending was the best thing I could possibly ask for. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so hilarious. I feel like people are gonna think I scripted this somehow. I swear to god I did not. Like I started this video with Lanyan on I can't. Oh, this is killing me. This is the funniest. It's so funny. Okay, it's not another Arlecchino. So it's possible. The fact that that was a 50-50 loss means that probably we're going to get C6 Lanyan before the next Arlecchino. Probably. Like, I started with Lanyan in this video because of the fact that I like Lanyan. I'm playing DPS Lanyan all the time. I'll probably make another video about Lanyan soon. But like, what in the actual ever-living... Is Lanyan a down-rated character? I said 250 pulls because I was trying to be pessimistic. And it's been... I don't know, we're gonna check. We'll check how many pulls this was for C6 Lanyon. Remember, and this was 5 copies. Oh my god, what a... Of course you doubled 5 stars at the end. Oh my god. Okay, so technically, yes, we got more copies of Lanyon than Arlecchino. Barely. If we had won that 150-50, we'd be like matched at rate for Lanyons and Arlecchinos. Holy crap. So that was... Jesus Christ. Let's go count. The last one doesn't count. You can give me an extra one just to troll us. Whatever. Anyways, let's go to see. We just gotta go click until we see the not the Hearth Ashen Shadow banner. What in the Jesus Christ? Oh my god. I can't believe... Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Oh my god. That was 76 times 5. That was 380 wishes for 5 Lanyons. Technically 6, but the 6th one doesn't count because it was a troll. Because we already got C6 from that poll. 380 divided by 5 is an average of 76 wishes per Lanyon. That was literally my experience getting C2 Lanyon, but somehow magnified over 5 copies. My god. What in the... What? I don't know why I pressed the button. Lanyon, why are you a 5-star? You're not supposed to be a 5-star. Lady. God, I wish the record to state I plan to wish for C6 Lanyon. I don't have her C6 yet. I'm planning to wish for a C6 when she has a rerun. That makes me worried. Lanyon is by far the character whenever I'm wishing. Apparently I have the worst luck for, which is incredible. So anyways, in conclusion, I guess, yeah, 4 stars are pain to acquire. They are the absolute worst aspect of playing Genshin Impact long term. If you dare want 4 stars instead of 5 stars, you're screwed. If you want 5 stars, the Capturing Radiance mechanic I think is a pretty good thing and makes it pretty easy to plan out getting 5 stars. It's really not that hard to plan to get specific 5 stars, and in fact it's not even that hard to plan to get C6 5 stars if you save your wishes for a long time without spending money. I mean, that is obviously if you're spending money you can just like it's pretty easy to be like, okay, I have 300 wishes saved, I want to get C6 Shilonin on this banner, you know, how much money do I have to spend to get C6 Shilonin? Well, you're probably gonna have to get an extra 300 wishes, which is gonna be an extra like $600 US, which is expensive. I do not think you should do that. That's not worth it. But if you were considering that seriously for whatever reason, and you think it through and you want to do it, that's worth the price for you because you're insane. Well, there you go, right? It's pretty easy to get expectations of how much wishes it's gonna cost to get 5 stars within like a margin of error of like 100-ish wishes, right? It's very unlikely to get less than like 500 wishes for a C6 5-star, right? We only had one 5-star that took like 400 wishes. Everyone else was like 500, 600, 700, right? And then past 5 stars were, if you got really unlucky, were like 800, 900, right? I don't think we had anyone go over 900 really. So in conclusion, don't spend money on this game. Use your resources wisely. Have a wonderful day. This was a good freaking 1 hour, 54-minute video. Unedited because I'm lazy, but Gamba content.